All right, let's see who made it all the way through the other video. This is where it gets fun. The first one was kind of boring, and I didn't enjoy doing it, for being honest. This is the part where everybody likes it, though. So we're starting with the cutout that we made yesterday. The big thing with doing crying Jordans, or any picture, if you're just changing heads or whatever, the major thing you're going to want to look for is picking the right picture to put them on. So we're going to do Dak Prescott again today. I'm going to go slower with the picture I used yesterday. There's a ton of pictures of Dak online. People send me pictures of family members and friends all the time, and the head angle is just way off. If you see the Jordan face, he's looking right. With Juxtaposer, the cool thing is if you hit that menu button at the top left, you can always flip it. If you look down at the bottom, the next to the last one is flip top image. So if we do that, Jordan's looking to the left. So it really doesn't matter if the picture you want to use is kind of looking to the left or right. You can always adjust the Jordan face. I'm going to go ahead and hit the undo button and have him looking right again. So I've downloaded a couple of examples of that. So I'm going to click the top left button. This is what you're going to do once you get your cutout done. Third one down is add a replace image. We're wanting to replace that white background with the Dak Prescott image. So I'm going to click the third one down. And then you see at the bottom it says replace background. You're going to click that. The top one, load photo. And it's in my recently added. If you do all photos, it's just going to pull up your recently added anyway. So we'll do that. So you can see a couple of examples. I'm going to click the first Dak Prescott. As you can see, the head angle is, even if I flip that one, is going to be off a good bit. I mean, you can make it work, but to get it to look right, it's just not gonna happen. I'm gonna have to go in and clean up part of his forehead. The hair is going to be facing the wrong way, so I'm going to go back to add replace image, go back to the last album, and get the Dak that we worked on yesterday. Okay, so again, the main thing here is zooming in. So we're going to change the view, bottom left, just kind of zoom in on Dak, and then move top, and move little Jordan head over, and just kind of resize it. Now, I'm kind of used to how the Jordan face fits on stuff just because I've done so many of them. This is a cool feature that Juxtaposer has that I was unaware of for probably the first 8 years I used the app. If you click the button to the left of the paintbrush at the top, the little slider button, if you look, the very first thing after top background, top image or background, you've got opacity. If you slide that to the left, it's going to make that see-through. And the more you drag it to the left, the more the top image is going to go away. So what I do is I get it right there where you can see basically the eyes and mouth, and then just kind of pinch until they're where you want them. So the chin's kind of lined up. You can see no part of Dak's cheek or eyebrow or anything like that sticking out. And then I'm going to go back to that slider bar up at the top, change my opacity back, and then click my paintbrush. And it's already on the one on the far right. That's the one I'm wanting to use. And then click erase. Okay, with this one, since I'm wanting to leave Dak's hair, you just start, like I said, zoom in, and you want to get rid of everything on Jordan's head that's covering up Dak's hair. I'm going to leave Dak's ear. And even right there a little bit. So you can see we've got it mostly lined up the way we want it to. You can clean that up a little bit. And then we're going to go back to the one to the left of the brush. This is where you're going to change all your colors, lightness, darkness, black and white, all that stuff. So we need that to be a good bit lighter. So we're going with the brightness, the very top one. Slide it. This one's going to go as far over because Jordan's a good bit darker than Dak is. And it's going to be a little shiny. We can change the saturation by taking it to the left just a little bit. It's going to give it more of a grayer tone though. And then tint next to the bottom one. Be honest with you guys, it's going to take a lot of playing around with this app just to figure out colors a little bit. all of this is done by sight. Like, you're not going to be able to click a button and copy a color or anything like that. You're just going to have to get it as close as you can possibly get it. Okay, so I'm going back to my paintbrush, make sure I'm still on the one on the right, clicking erase, and just kind of blending in a little bit. Any parts, like I usually take off a little bit more than I need to up here, and then I'll go to unerase at the bottom right and just zoom in and get as close as you can get. Like I said, just kind of like the other Jordan face, you're going to have to unerase and erase a few times just to kind of get a feel for it. You're going to put back more, more than I wanted, just like I did. You're going to take away more than you want, just to kind of blend it until you get it where you want it. And there it is. If I want to leave his little goatee, I come down here and I erase away part of Jordan's chin that's covering the goatee. There's other ways we can add that in, and I'll show that on the next tutorial when I cover keeping the person's eyes. But that one is pretty much a done Dak Prescott. Like I said, you can always readjust size if you want to give him a little bit more of his chin to make it look more realistic. There's just a ton of little touch-up things you can do on here. Make sure we didn't go back up into the hairline more than we wanted to. And then again, I took away a little bit more than I wanted to. So we'll just add it back in. I feel like Bob Ross. I feel like I'm adding in some happy little trees, and need to say something about there not being any real mistakes, just happy accidents. But I'm making a ton of happy accidents. So not including my son, just in case my wife's watching this. So anyway, so Dak's done. If you guys have any questions, add it in the comments. Let me know. I'll go over it in the next one. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.